Welcome back to a brand new episode of NH Unscripted. Lucky listeners. I'm your host, Ray Dudley. I got the navy blue Nehru jacket on today. So it helps to kind of accentuate my eyes. Your job, sit back on the water beds. Hey, make sure the heater's on that thing. That's just a pro tip. You may wonder how I know that. Fire up the incense. Get that lava lamp going because we have another beautiful show for you today. We are coming to you from the YMCA-like digs of the WKXL. Nothing there is true, Doc. we from the YMCA-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. Smell the poo chlorine all the way over here. Time to talk nonprofits, my friends. So I met with Winnie a few weeks ago, and I walk inside the foyer, and there's all these paintings on display. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? I've been in that foyer countless times, and it was gorgeous. So I walk over. I got a Diet Coke or something from the little bar there, and I'm walking around these fascinating paintings. So I inquired as to where they came from, what the heck's going on. This morning we have in-house Dr. Marc Bard. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
Are they your paintings in the Winnie?
They are indeed.
They are, huh? And why are they there?
To raise money for important organizations.
I see. You have a business now called Paintings for a Purpose. Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah.
So give us a little history about that, how it started, where it came from, how it even evolved, and then we'll get into how it's doing all this.
Well, it all started during COVID. I brought in a few paintings to the frame shop, Meredith Frame Shop, owned by Davida Cook, and to have framed for my daughter who wanted a couple of my paintings.
Mm-hmm.
Davida made the mistake of saying, "These are beautiful paintings. Where did you acquire them?" I said, "Well, I actually painted them."
Huh.
She said, "Well, they're really good." I said, I'm surprised, but thank you." She said, "Do you have other paintings?" I said, "I have lots of paintings." It was during COVID. I had been painting profusely. So she said, "Bring them in." So I brought a bunch of them in. She looked them over. And together we decided that it would be fun to hang some of the paintings in her large picture windows on Main Street in Meredith and allow people to safe distance by looking from outside in to the paintings as a diversion during COVID.
Yep.
As we're hanging the paintings, and there were about 25 paintings in the windows, she said, "Well, we should put a price tag on in case somebody wants to buy one." I said, "Nobody's going to buy one of my."
Had you ever sold a painting?
I've never sold a painting. I said, "Nobody's going to want." She said, "No, somebody may want to buy them."
Yeah.
I said, "Seriously? How much should we charge?" So we agreed on a price for the paintings. And I said, "But if somebody buys one, I don't want the money. Let's give it to a worthy cause." And food insecurity was something we both felt strongly about. So we said, well, if anybody buys a painting, we'll give the money to the Meredith Food Pantry. The show went on. People went by every day. And we sold $3,000 worth of paintings and gave one of those large checks to the Meredith Food Pantry at the end for $3,000.
Wow.
And Paintings for a Purpose was born.
Man. When did you name it?
We named it about the third year of the show, and then we incorporated it as a nonprofit just last year. So we're a New Hampshire nonprofit 501c3 organization.
Wow. When you had originally started, you chose the food kitchen. Was that... At that time, you didn't have a board, you said, right?
No.
No. How did you arrive at them in particular? But
Well, Davida and I were talking, and we both learned that we were both interested in food insecurity as an issue at the time. And I was aware that in the Lakes region, there were a large number of people who were food insecure. And so we both agreed really very quickly that we would just give the money to the food pantry And food was, the acquisition of food was becoming a little more scarce during that period of time. So it allowed them to expand their acquisition.
I didn't realize there were that many people without food up there, suffering from some kind of...
More than you think.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. You always think old money, right?
Yeah.
Old money.
Along the lake. That's true along the lake.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of recesses of food insecurity.
Apparently so. So 3,000 must have gone a long way for that. And that's Secures goes to, 19th, yeah.
Yeah, and the next year, I think we gave them $5,000.
2 years in a row.
And then we decided that we would expand our reach a little bit.
Okay. So wait. So at this point, so you're 2 years in.
Yeah.
When you say we, are you still talking about?
Davida and I were a team. We still are.
Okay.
She is wonderful and, by the way, a phenomenal framer.
Oh.
And has a great artistic sense. And after our third year in her shop, during the winter, there was a frozen pipe in one of the apartments above her shop. And it literally rendered her shop inoperable. And she had to close for months.
Were your paintings in there?
Unfortunately, a lot of my paintings were in there and they got destroyed. Oh. But more importantly, I had no site for the Paintings for a Purpose show the next summer. So it's interesting. I went around to see if there was a venue that we could hold the show. And I went to Moulton Farms, which is a wonderful farm in Meredith. And John Moulton, who is just the most dear human being you could ever ask for, I asked him whether we could hold the show at the farm because at least he had some room. And he put his arm around me and laughed and he said, "You could, of course, and I would let you, but it's a terrible place for a show." He said, "But I have another idea." At that moment, I realized he was the chair of the board of the Meredith Village Savings Bank. And I was fortunate to be on a board with Marcus Weeks, who's president of the Savings Bank. And I went, "Well, you're going to call Marcus, aren't you?" Within 1 hour, I got a call from Marcus saying the show will be at Meredith Village Savings Bank this year.
Wow.
And it was a beautiful venue. Unfortunately, it was limited because there was very little walk-in traffic during the show because the show lasts a whole month. But it was fabulous, and John Moulton catered the show.
He did,
and he catered every show since, as strictly as a volunteer. And he himself comes to every show. And I overheard him this year when somebody said, "John, you're a busy man. How is it that you can spend 4 hours at this show?" And he said, "Because I support this endeavor, and it's important to me." Meredith Village Savings Bank then became a real partner. And between the Moulton Farms, Meredith Village Savings Bank, and the Meredith Frame Shop, I had my 3 sponsors, and they were real partners in the whole thing.
Interesting. So how many paintings a year were you selling? When you say you gave away $3,000 and $5,000, is that 10 paintings? Is that 100 paintings?
Well, there are paintings, there are prints,
okay.
and we added in the third year cards. But we sell about 20 to 25 paintings a year, lots of prints.
Yeah.
And we try to keep the price down so that the public can really afford to buy these. I'm not trying to make any money on this. We were just giving away all the profits to these nonprofits.
Do you have a website?
Yes, paintingsforapurpose.org. One word, paintingsforapurpose.org.
What will people find out there if they go out there?
All the paintings that are on sale that year will be in there. They can buy prints of any of our paintings. We have high-resolution images of them that we make into prints. They can buy cards. So people who buy cards in the summer often want to buy them during the year to replenish. They make fabulous stocking stuffers.
Oh, that's interesting.
And the prints make really nice gifts because they're all of images around the lakes region.
They are indeed. That's why they're gorgeous. You captured New England so beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Oh man, and I know a lot of those places. So as I'm looking, I'm recognizing different spots around the state.
Look, I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Why is that?
I spend my time painting, which I love to do.
Yeah.
And I wind up giving away all the proceeds to charitable organizations, worthy organizations, which is another thing I love to do. I mean, what's not to love about this?
No kidding, right? No kidding. Congratulations. All right, hang on, I gotta pay some bills here. My friends, you are listening to NH Unscripted. We are coming to you from the Taj Mahal-like digs of the WKXL studios here in Concord. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkmans. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Dr. Marc Bard is in the house. We're talking nonprofit. We're talking paintings. We're talking a lot of stuff. We got a lot more to talk about. We'll be right back. Welcome back to NH Unscripted. We are coming in from the Hollywood Square-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. I love sitting in that center square, the old Paul Lynde Square. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios, 101.9 FM for those beautiful souls in Manchester. Dr. Marc Bard is in the house, and we are talking paintings for a purpose. So, did you ever think you'd be doing this? I mean,
no. It's actually kind of funny. Back in the late 1960s, when I was in medical school, my father got ill. And although I had loans and I had some scholarship, when he got ill and was unemployed for a period of time, I had to earn money. And 3 of my professors were writing a book on neurosciences. And I said, well, could I illustrate your book? And they went, are you a medical illustrator? I said, not yet, but I'm going to be. So I submitted a portfolio to W.B. Saunders Printing, a publishing company. And lo and behold, I got the job. And I think there are about 450 illustrations in this book. But it paid for 2 years of medical school.
Yeah.
And I fancied myself an artist. Well, I wasn't. I was an illustrator. And although in my medical practice, I was able to use that skill to illustrate to patients what was going on in their medical problem.
Yep.
The reality is that's not artistry. That's illustration. And deep down inside, I always wanted to learn how to watercolor. So as my practice was winding down, I prevailed upon a local artist, Christine Hodecker in Meredith, knocked on her door and said, "Hi, I'm a resident in Holderness, and I want to learn how to watercolor." And she said, "Well, find a good teacher." I said, "No, I want you to be my teacher." She said, "Well, I'm not interested. Thanks anyway." I waited a day, knocked on her door again and said, "You told me no yesterday, but I'm going to give you a chance to get it right. So what's the real answer?" She said, "I'm not taking any students." So the third day I said, 3's got to be a charm. So I knocked. I said, "No, you don't understand. I really want to learn, and I'm going to be a good student." And she said, "Oh, all right. You're so persistent. Come on." So I started taking lessons with her. And it was because I had learned during the process that I didn't know anything about watercolor painting. I'd been on a bike trip with my wife from Prague to Vienna, looked at my photographs and said, I would really like to paint those. So I went out and got paints. I got a brush and I got paper and I started to paint, and it just came out as goulash. I mean, it was just awful. And so I studied under Christine, may she rest in peace, just a wonderful teacher. And about 7 or 8 months into my lessons with her, one day I was painting with her, and she looked at what I was painting and said, "Stop." I didn't really understand what she meant. She said, "Stop, put the brush down." I went, okay. I put the brush down. I said, "Whoa." She took the painting, found a mat lying around the studio, put my painting inside the mat and said, "This is your first painting." And I looked at it and I went, seeing it matted, it really did look like a painting.
Oh.
She said, "You just completed your first painting."
Why did she have you stop then? What was happening?
Because the hardest part of watercolor painting is knowing when to stop. You can overwork the work and with too much water and everything else and just mess it up.
Oh.
So she just said, "Your painting is done. Stop it." And so I studied with Christine for a couple of years, and then she got ill and unfortunately died. I had 3 or 4 other teachers and coaches, and currently I'm with Cheryl Johnson, who's a wonderful artist in Campton, and she really understands technique, and through her I'm learning all the techniques, and getting to utilize all of them. So they've been really instrumental, but the people who really turned my interest in watercolor into a real ongoing enterprise to be able to make these charitable contributions are members of the Meredith Village Savings Bank. Cindy Hemian Plesner has been their head of marketing is just been amazing. And Marcus Weeks, the head of the bank, has also been amazing. And most recently, the people at Minuteman Press up in North Conway have become partners and sponsors of our program.
They do your cards?
They do all the cards, and they're phenomenal. And over time, many of the recipients of our donations have really become friends and partners as well. And I've got a whole list in front of me of those wonderful organizations.
Throw some of them out. Let us hear.
Well, we talked about the Meredith Food Pantry, Restoration Acres Farm.
Okay.
CASA, Court Point sponsors, End 68 Hours of Hunger, Kingswood Youth Center, Meredith Public Library, Squam Lake Association, Squam Lake Conservation Society, Seacoast Repertory Theater, Got Lunch, Laconia, the Circle Program, which is our current beneficiary, and the Winnipesaukee Playhouse, again, our current beneficiary. These have all been beneficiaries.
They've all been beneficiaries.
All of them.
How many is that?
12 that I count. Yeah.
Wow. And so is there a ceiling of money? Forgive me for it sounds so crass. But when you're talking to an organization, obviously they could probably take as much as you could give them. Do you have like a saying, okay, you're this type of organization, you're going to get 5,000. The year this type, you're going to get 2,000.
No, actually, I leave it up to them to co-market the program with us.
Oh, that's neat.
And when my board chooses each year the beneficiary, I meet with them and make the offer, but let them know that they are partners in this, because the degree to which they market the program, they're going to be the beneficiary. It's enlightened self-interest. So there's no ceiling whatsoever. Whatever we can generate.
Painting at that time that someone wants to buy, everyone's going 100% to that.
100%. I'm the least successful artist you'll ever meet. I've never made a nickel on a painting. And I get a lot of commissions as a result of this. And all the commissions are donated directly. Unless somebody specifies that they would like it donated to a different cause, I'll honor that.
Did you have to be a certain 501c3? Is there like a...
I don't have to be, but it helps. I am a 501c3 organization, so I'm a legitimate nonprofit.
Got it.
And each year, Meredith Village Savings Bank makes a contribution to cover many of my operating costs.
Oh,
and I make.
So you didn't take money for your operating costs at all?
No.
So it's all out of your own pocket?
A lot of it's out of my own pocket.
There are dozens of paintings up at the Winnie. I was looking at them like, this is amazing. They weren't even like prints. They were like your paintings.
Yeah. And I have to have them framed. And
out of your own pocket.
Sure. Well, my pocket and the Meredith Village Savings Bank.
Yeah. Wow. That's impressive. Come on.
It's a passion. It's not. I mean, I'm the most selfish person you'll ever meet.
I know about that.
I paint because I love to paint.
Yeah.
We raise the money because I love to raise the money and support these organizations. It's total selfish.
Events. Where did this desire, this love for painting come from? Is it in your family somewhere?
No, there are no painters in my family. My dad was a creative woodworker and sculptor, and he always did that, and he was a photographer. Other than that, I've always been interested in art. I've only taken one formal art class, and that was when I was 6 years old at the Art Institute of Chicago.
My goodness. I was fascinated. So, here we go, we're rabbit holing. Hang on. We gotta take a break. Cliffhanger, folks, cliffhanger. My friends, you are listening to NH Unscripted. I know you happen to be at Jimmy's today. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios, 101.9 FM for those beautiful souls of Manchester. You're about to find out how ignorant I am about art. So we come back. I'm going to be talking with Dr. Marc Bard and embarrassing myself. We'll be right back.
Is this going okay?
Welcome back to NH Unscripted. Yep, it's another one of those days where I'm glad I got out of bed. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Dr. Marc Bard, can you give us your website again, please?
Sure. It's Paintings for a Purpose, one word, paintingsforapurpose.org.
Can you, I have a couple of questions for you, and it's, again, this is my ignorance. Can you, semantically, what is the difference between an illustrator and an artist?
Illustration is really technical. There's no attempt to evoke any emotion out of it. It is simply an illustration for educational purposes. Whereas for me, art has much more emotion attached to it. With my artwork, which are primarily scenes from around the lakes region of New Hampshire, I want people to look at them and say, I've been there, or that reminds me of an afternoon we had, at the lake, or that's my vacation. I remember one woman bought a painting of Town Docks ice cream shop. And she went, that's where my daughter that was her first job. I have to buy this painting for her to give it to her.
Man, your heart has to be.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. You get a lot of those kind of, I'll bet, man. That's what I said when I looked at them at the Winnie. I'm like, oh, wait, I've been there. Wait, I know that place.
I'll tell you the most touching story of all. I won't mention the gentleman's name, but it was a gentleman who managed to donate a large amount of land for conservation, about 6,500 acres. And I'm in a men's walking group. Every Tuesday morning, we walk different trails. And we were walking his trail at the end of the winter. It was snowing. And occasionally I'll take pictures of there are about 15 men with our dogs. We walk. And I took a photograph and decided to paint it. When the other men saw it and realized that the donor had just died, they asked if I would make the painting and donate it to his wife. So I did, had it framed, and we donated it to his wife. About 2 weeks after the donation, I got an email telling me the following story. She sent a picture of my painting underneath a painting that she said her husband loved. It was a painting of him in his sailboat, and it was given to him as a gift from a board that he was on. She said that when he got ill, he took the painting from their house to their assisted living, and as he escalated his care, that painting went with him to each of the locations, rehab, and so on and so forth. She hung my painting underneath and then noticed that the other painting had been done by me about 10 years ago.
What?
And she felt compelled to write me, telling me how much he loved the painting and how much she loved seeing the painting. That touched me.
Amen. My goodness.
It's wonderful.
Are you gonna cry?
Yeah, I could. I mean, I was touched.
Man, I hope I can contribute to this world enough like that. Good grief. When you say watercolors, I don't know anything about paint. I can't paint. I can't draw blood. When you say watercolors, and your paintings aren't like, they're not. How do I put this? Well, how would you describe?
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
A lot of them are photorealistic. They're very realistic.
Yeah.
And people are surprised that they're watercolors. Because with watercolor, you think of these oozy paintings where the colors all blend together and they're kind of abstract. No, actually, most of them are, some of them are quite photorealistic.
Yeah.
I'll get a commission to as a gift to paint someone's home, and they feel like it's the photograph. So I do paint, and the colors are much bolder than all watery.
Yeah. No, they're beautiful.
But they're watercolors.
That's hard to believe. I mean, they're just so gorgeous.
Thank you.
How are you picking your subjects? Are you just kind of randomly wake up when you drive by and there's a cat by the side and you're like, oh, that's cute. I'm going to draw that. How do you?
That's great. No, actually, so every other day, my dog and I go for a run, about a 3-mile run. And along our runs, we pick different little dirt roads and so on. I'll shoot photographs of interesting sites, or an interesting old garage with an antique car in front of it, or somebody's home that's just beautiful. And I'll go home and say, I think I want to paint this. And in fact, recently I did one of those garages with about 40 half taken apart trucks in front of it. And I decided to paint it. And I went for a run about 2 weeks ago, and the people that own the garage were out in front. I said, wait, you know something? I want to show you something. I painted this garage, and the guy was amazing. That's our garage. That's my truck. I said, yeah, well, those are almost. Anyway, so, whatever strikes my fancy, I'll take a photograph, and, I may add or delete a little component of it to make it a more interesting painting. But they're all realistic scenes from around the Lake Region.
How's business?
Well,
I don't mean to, and you don't have to give me $1. I mean, are you satisfied?
Oh, very much. Opening night this year at the Winnipesaukee Playhouse, we sold $6,200 worth of artwork.
Opening night?
Opening night, just one night. And that's all going to the Circle program and to the Winnipesaukee Playhouse.
My goodness.
So, it's a meaningful, it makes a difference.
Yeah, I guess. So what's on the horizon for you? Are you thinking ahead and saying, well, I can maybe expand it to 2 shows a year. I could have, 2 simultaneously. Where do you go from here? If you're going anywhere. I mean, you're not.
I did have 2 shows last year, and it was really hard because I had to save some of the paintings for the second show. So how do you decide which paintings go in which show? So I'm going to stick to one show a year. And people have often asked me, are you going to invite other artists in? And I would, but I don't really want to manage the art show and manage other artists' contribution to the art show. And it's really hard to find another artist that's willing to donate 30 or 40 paintings a year for charitable purposes. So I kind of stick to myself and say, that's enough for 1 year. I don't intend to be grandiose. I just want to be meaningful. I just want to make a difference in these programs.
It's funny how we're wired as humans. When I saw the ones at the Winnie and I recognized them, my heart kind of, the emotional heart, I was like, oh, it kind of, I don't want to say it mellowed me. I was taken aback by it because it was so relatable. I looked at it, oh, I know that spot. That's crazy. I can't believe somebody painted that. So thank you, first of all, for that.
You're too kind. You're too kind. I mean, again, I'm selfish. I paint what I love to paint because I love to paint.
Well, it was such a gift, and it was a totally unexpected experience. Because, again, I've been in the Winnie many times, and I've been in that foyer, and it's always empty except that piano sitting on the left-hand side there. And to go in and be caught by this display. And so now I got to go get my ticket to the right, but I'm out of my peripheral vision. I got to head over here. And it was so cool to be able to go wind your way through this little area and look at all of these little paintings. And you could just stand there for minutes on end, just marveling at the New England-ish of your work. Is that even a word? No, I know it's not. But so you're doing nothing collaborative then, as far as with other artists, but are you trying to pick up more businesses as well? Are you being known in the community, and you're having other organizational businesses say, "Hey, we'd like to"?
I think that what's really changed over the 7 years of the program,
Good. Finish.
Is really that people recognize now that it's a charitable enterprise. They're not buying Marc Bard's paintings. They're donating to these important charitable organizations.
Well said. Well said. My friends, you are listening to NH Unscripted. Yeah, I know, you take a break. I know, go get a cup of coffee, something. Light the incense, nothing else. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. The time just flies. All right, we got one more block to go. Dr. Marc Bard's in the house. Paintings for a Purpose. We'll be right back. Welcome back to NH Unscripted. I'm telling all your friends. I can tell you are. I know you are. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkmans, baby. We're coming to you from deep within the bunkers of the WKXL studios in Concord. Yeah, try to find us. Dr. Marc Bard's in the house. Paintings for a Purpose. Did I get that correct?
You did.
Yeah. Rolls off the tongue. So obviously you cannot operate a nonprofit organization without a board, and I assume you have one.
I do indeed.
Sorry.
And they're just phenomenal people. I mentioned earlier Cindy Hemian-Plesner, who is the director of marketing at the bank.
Yes,
and she brings together a number of volunteers at the bank. They package all of our cards. They help us set up. They help us take down.
Really?
They're phenomenal.
The bank allows them to do that?
Yeah, the bank encourages them.
What?
The bank is so community focused. Seriously, and as I mentioned, Marcus Weeks has just been a gifted contributor to the program. A second board member is Bruce Falby, a retired attorney and professional flutist. And I have the pleasure of being in a band with him.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and you get Tuesday nights in the metropolis of Holderness. The pizza truck comes every Tuesday night in the summer. And I'm in a band. I'm the trumpet player.
Okay.
And we perform for 2 hours while people are eating pizza.
You dogs.
It is a hoot. I am a better artist than I am a trumpet player, but nobody seems to mind.
All right. No complaints there.
Davita Cook, I mentioned, Meredith Frame Shop. She's on my board. Kay Lacasse, who's one of the senior people at Moulton Farm. They've been so generous. They donate all of the refreshments for our openings. And as I said, John Moulton comes and stays the entire time. He's been instrumental. And more recently, we added Casey Gherkin, who owns Innisfree Bookstore, because I needed some expertise in retail.
Oh.
And Leslie Pankhurst, who is the Winnie Playhouse, is also on my board. These are phenomenal people, and I don't burden them, but they are, the minute I call them, they're there to help. So it's great.
So they're not just a board name only.
No.
People you can depend on this day and age.
And my daughter desperately wants to be on my board. And until I had 5 other members, you legally can't have a family member. So I guess at some point, yes, Lisa, you'll get on my board at some point.
So your stuff was at the Winnie. Is it still at the Winnie right now?
It's still at the Winnie to the end of the month.
To the end of the month, okay. And the shows, they got some great shows coming out.
Odd Couple right now, fabulous.
Have you seen it?
Nope, I see it. Well, I've seen the rehearsals.
Yeah. Oh, you have.
But I see the show Wednesday night.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. I may have to get to a matinee to do it, but one way or another, I'm trying to get up there. And then they got Wait Until Dark.
Yes.
Nobody ever does Wait Until Dark.
Oh,
you painted yourself like that.
That's when I was in college. I remember driving up to Smith College with a friend of mine, and we went to the movie theater. And we were up in the balcony, and at the scariest part of Wait Until Dark,
he jumps out. Wait, let me think. He jumps up.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. I scared my friend. He knocked my glasses off down to the floor where they broke, and I had to drive back from Smith College to New Haven with no glasses. So I have a special place in my heart for Wait Until Dark.
Spoiler alert, I guess. A little late, but spoiler in there somewhere. Wow. What's planned for this year? So you've got it at the Winnie. Did you already have a new home for it after the Winnie?
No, I'm going to keep it at the Winnie. They've become partners. Yeah, it will stay at the Winnie for the foreseeable future.
Seriously?
Yeah, they have been phenomenal. And having it close to where I live is really helpful because, every day I have to bring a print to the frame shop to be framed. I have to pick up framed paintings and bring them back to the theater or to the post office to be shipped. So, there's a lot of back and forth that I do. It could be a full-time job.
Yeah, well, it works very well there because the Winnie is quintessential New England theater, and from the woodwork, the beams, and all that. So your stuff is so good there, so well there.
And if you go to the marketplace, in front of Innisfree Bookstore, there's a huge banner for the Winnipesaukee Playhouse, and in it there's a picture of the Playhouse, which is the picture that I painted. So I was there with my grandchildren a couple of weeks ago. We were walking through, and I went, "Oh my goodness, look at that! That's my painting." They get a kick. They like to come up and see the show. And my grandson, that's another person I should acknowledge.
Yeah,
grandson Benjamin is the chief. I have one employee, and that is my grandson, who's the chief operating officer. He set up the website. He does all of the back office work and manages all of the sales and everything else. And he is off to college in the fall.
Uh-oh. Can he be replaced?
Probably not. But fortunately for me, he's going to college rather locally in Boston. He'll be at MIT. So
Excuse us.
Yeah, well,
MIT, my.
Benjamin, God love him.
He's got the cred.
Yeah, he does. He does. His older brother's at the University of Pennsylvania, who also has been actually very sweet. When he went off to college, he wanted 2 of my paintings for his room.
Aww.
So in his college dorm room, and now Benjamin is going to also want a couple
Can
of
I
paintings.
ask what he took? Did you?
Yeah, it's cute. It's a cocktail setting, a sunset cocktail setting, with 2 chairs and 2 cocktails waiting for people to come and drink. And he thought that'll calm me in college.
I was deeply in love with the one with the elderly couple sitting on the bench.
Oh yeah, with his arm around her.
Yeah. You know, I'm becoming a softie in my old age. I was out at the Peterborough Players the other day, and I went to a matinee. And of course, matinees are typically known for all of us gray hairs heading out, you know. But you know, the love, I guess maybe I just never saw it when I was younger, but the love that some of these couples have for each other, you know, you see them, they're all up there. How do I put, you know, life hammered some of them. And you can see, though, through all that life handed them, the love that they have for each other. And that painting touched me deeply because as I get older, my appreciation for my wife, it just... I don't know, any good.
Well, I was going to save until the end, the last person I wanted to mention. I've mentioned my grandchildren and my daughter, but, you know, my wife of 54 years has stuck with me through all my careers of being a medical illustrator when we were dating, to being a doctor, to then being a consultant and being on the road a lot, and now to being up in my loft painting all day long.
They're special. They keep us in line.
Yeah, they do.
54 years? Congratulations.
Yeah.
We just did 50 this year.
And we toasted, when we got married, our toast to each other was, we hoped that our marriage would last as long as the warranty on the toaster oven. Because all of our friends were getting divorced at the time we were getting married. I thought, well, you know, or maybe the mattress. They have a warranty on the mattress. Well, she's managed to endure 54 years.
Some days I wonder why they stick with us. I mean, my wife, same thing. I did a lot of theater, and she sacrificed all that time. You know, I'd leave the house just for hours, half a day at a time. Sometimes weeks if we were out of the city, you know, I mean, even out of the state. So, but she stayed in there, man. Mm-hmm. She made me a better man.
Same.
So now, so the stuff's going to stay permanently at the Winnie, or at least for the foreseeable future.
For the next month.
Okay.
And then we get to give these big checks that we had printed up.
They're cute.
To the Winnipesaukee Playhouse and to the Circle program. And I'm already painting for next year's show.
You are?
Well, I've got a lot of commissions that I'm doing right now for this year's show, and then I'll start painting for next year's show.
Explain commissions for folks who don't know what...
Sure. So some people will come in and say, I really like that painting, but could you do it of my yard? And I'll say, sure, or their house, or as a gift for somebody.
How do they get in touch with you to do that?
The best way is through paintingsforapurpose.org or directly at marc@mb2.com, mb-two.com.
And that, folks, is a show. My friends, you've been listening to NH Unscripted. We are coming to you from the spa-like conditions of the WKXL studios in Concord. That's where I come to get all my back rubs. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on the Sony Walkmans, 101.9 FM for the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Dr. Marc Bard, Paintings for a Purpose, was my guest today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you on the next lesson.